Hi there. Today I'm going to be working on this 2006 Toyota Tundra. It's got the 4-liter V6, and as you can see there, front and center, we'll be doing a thermostat today. There's the new one. I'll show you the old one for reference. This is an AISIN brand. I think I'm saying that right. Japanese made. The thermostat it's like a complete unit. You can see it down there. There's the top bolt right there in the light. There's three bolts, it looks like, and looks like these oil lines are maybe in the way, maybe not, but I will have to take up the this is the radiator hose that comes from it's the lower radiator hose that comes to the top of the engine here, and I'll have to take that off. I'll pinch that shut with some clamps I have, adjustable clamps, to keep the fluid from coming out. And when I remove that, I should just be able to take off the 3 bolts. They'll match the same pattern on this replacement, and hopefully that'll go pretty well. And first we'll take off this shroud. These are 10 millimeter nuts right there, and we'll get started with removing that first, just to give us a little bit more room to get to everything. So I have the 2 10 millimeter nuts off. This cover just hinges up. You can see where it just clips on the back. Just actually rests back there on some rubber grommets, comes off. This gives us a nice, really opens this up so we can get there's another shot of the thermostat housing, and yeah, we can get to most of it there. I'll probably use a universal with a 10 millimeter socket. So I got have the hose off, and there's that clamp I have. I'm using on that to keep the fluid from coming out. That was the easiest way to do it. There's a skid plate on the bottom you have to take off to drain any of the fluid. So I lost minimal fluid, it looks like. Here I'm going to try to get to that back bolt. I might need to try something else, but I'm going to try to get it with a universal and a small 10 millimeter. And so once I get that off, be able to show you the comparison. It looks like this might be the original it says Toyota on there, thermostat. And like I said, it's a complete unit for this 2006 V6 engine. And this particular vehicle has almost 200,000 miles. It's just a little over 199,000. So that's what I'll do next, is try to break loose these 3 nuts and take this housing off. Okay, here we are with the 2 thermostats now. The old one is in the front, and it is a OEM. It's original equipment, Toyota. It looks in really good shape, actually. The reason I'm doing this is I just suspected it might have needed change, but I'm not sure. This one here is the AISIN one that I got to replace it, and it's made in Japan. That's a good thing in this case. There is something to point out on these, is there is a gasket on the back right here. This gasket here is what seats the thermostat housing. So make sure your new one has that and the old one is removed. If you look down here to where the thermostat came out of, there's the three studs that the nuts go on. You can't see the last one. There it is, down there. That back one down there at the bottom right here. The combination I used to get that off is two smaller extensions with the universal on it. Let's see, right here, this worked for me. What is that, about 2 couple inch extensions and the universal. That allowed me to reach in there and get that back off, like so, like that. And then for the front one, I actually used this longer extension here, and I got behind the, put a little pressure and got behind the return hose for the oil like that to get that front one. Top one came off real easy. And yeah, another little piece of advice is use one of these magnetic reacher things, and I caught the nut as I was taking them off by hand, so I didn't drop them down there. So this thing saved me without losing the nuts. So now I'm going to put the new thermostat in its place, and would just not go crazy tighten these down. I'm sure they're very little inch-pounds to tighten these down, and we'll get that back in place and tighten it up. I think I'm going to use a new hose clamp, just because the old one looked a little corroded. So throw a new hose clamp on the hose, and then have to add a little bit of coolant. I lost a little bit more than I thought I would when I popped that open, but you can see it looks pretty good. I did flush it recently, so all right, we'll get that back in place. And yeah, the way the orientation is, this is the top. This would go on the top stud like this, and it points down. So where that lettering is on that hole, that is the orientation of how this should go in there. And so for the new one, you would have this this label, just like you had the Toyota facing out towards you. You'd have the label facing out where you could read it. So that's the next step, is putting the replacement in, get it all put back together. I wanted to point out on this back nut, I was hardly able to get it on, but if I held the magnet with the nut on the end just like that, I would be able to just get one of my fingers in there and start spinning it to start threading it, hand threading it on that stud. And that was about the only way I could get anything back in there, because without taking all this other stuff off. But it's on there, hand tightened several turns, so I just have to tighten it up. But that's why I love this extendable magnet. It's just indispensable for, plus I dropped the nut like 3 times and was able to pick it out of wherever it fell in. So yeah, get you one of these to get this back on there. I'm gonna put all three nuts on there first, hand tighten, and then, like I said, just don't go crazy tightening that up, and you should be good. It's just a plastic housing. One more shot. Have it all back together. I ran it to make sure there weren't any leaks. Should always do that. And left that shroud off for the moment, but put that back here in a second. There it is, in place. New thermostat. Ended up reusing the same old hose clamp because I didn't have one small enough to go on there. But it's back together, and if you follow those tips to take the nuts off and get them back on carefully, you should be fine. And hope this helps somebody. Thank you for watching.